Welcome to another episode of the Diary of an Apartment Investor podcast. I'm your host, Brian Briscoe, the founder of Streamline Capital Group and the Tribe of Titans multifamily educational company. So one thing that I'm going to talk about today is something I've been asked a couple of times in the last 2 weeks, and that's about conferences. Okay, when you go to conferences, what is the most important thing? I think the answer to each person is going to be slightly different. Okay. When I first started going to conferences, I was just getting exposed to the multifamily space. And for me, the most important thing was that exposure. It was the new ideas. It was largely sitting in a seat and listening to what was being presented, because it kind of opened my eyes to what's going on. All right. And I was at 2 conferences last week, and there was a lot of content being put out. And so I think at the very beginning stages of investing, you're probably better served sitting in a seat and listening to what's being presented, okay, getting ideas, being exposed to bigger and bigger things, and seeing some of the puzzle pieces come into play. Now, I will warn you that when you go to a lot of these conferences, a lot of times there's a high ticket sale coming along with them. All right. And when I say I warn you, just make sure you understand that going in. A lot of these conferences are put together because they're advertising coaching programs. All right. Now that's might be a good thing, might be a bad thing. But like I said, just realize that going in. I went to the first conference I went to, had a coaching program element to it. And I started really, really thinking about coaching myself. And, ended up being, after the conference, spent a little time thinking about it. And I decided that it was the right thing for me. Okay. But if you're not accustomed to like the high pitch sales or some of the higher pressure sales or some of the pitches, a lot of these conferences do turn into pitch fests. So just be prepared for that going in. And if coaching is right for you, when you go in, just, vet the people, vet the program, vet everything you can about it. Okay. So that you're not taken unaware and kind of convinced, or have people trying to convince you to do something you may not want to do. All right. In the end, I'm all for coaching. I've done coaching, multifamily coaching. I actually just paid, another $5,000 to one of my 2 business coaches today for, to extend my coaching. And this year, I'll probably be about $75,000 into different coaching programs. So like I said, I'm not saying these coaching programs are bad. I love coaching. Just make sure when you go to these conferences, you understand that you're very likely going to get pitched to while you're receiving the information. Okay. So that you can understand what point of view people are coming from. All right. Now, the other part about these big conferences, in addition to the information presented, there's typically going to be a lot of people in the same room with similar desires and similar visions to what you have. And multifamily is very much a team sport. It's not I can do everything by myself. As a matter of fact, if you try to do everything by yourself, it's actually kind of counterproductive, because most brokers realize that it's going to take a team to close a deal. And if you are the lone wolf trying to survive, you're going to have a hard time doing it. You really are. So the next thing is networking. These conferences are vitally important for networking, expanding your network. Okay. So how do you take advantage of a conference from the networking aspect? All right. The answer is simple. Know what type of people you need to get to the next step. Okay. And depending on where you are in your journey, it could be something completely different, right? Maybe you're looking for vendors. Maybe you need, a couple of people to bounce your loans off of. Maybe you need a syndication attorney. Maybe you want, somebody to help you with insurance quotes. Like I said, the people who provide services to multifamily operators. Okay. And these people do play a vital part of your team. And incidentally, a lot of those guys will sponsor the events. They'll have tables and you can go sit down and, talk with them about it. They are there specifically looking for business. All right. But on the flip side, a lot of times, you're looking for partners. You're looking for people who can help you shoulder the load. And as far as that goes, you need to understand what you're looking for before going in, so you don't waste a lot of time. In a conference, really, in my perspective, it doesn't matter if there's 200 people at a conference or 2,000 people at a conference. I'm still only going to have time to really talk with 20 or 30 people during that conference period, right? So I need to know what it is I'm looking for and very quickly try to size up the person that I'm talking to. I don't mean that in a bad way, but if I'm specifically looking for a partner who has XYZ, characteristics and skills, and I'm talking with somebody that's ABC, I'll make that conversation short. I'll be as polite as possible. And hey, nice meeting you. Maybe invite them on my podcast, or whatever, and move on. Okay. So you spend more time with the people that you are looking to connect with. All right. Now, and something else that I've realized is more and more important recently is values. When you're working with other people, you kind of want to have an idea of what values you want them to have. And those values should probably match your own. So make decisions on vendors, make decisions on partners, primarily based on their values and whether or not they match your values. And that's going to make doing business with these people and partnering with these people so much better. All right. I just had a call with a group, and we're very likely going to partner with them on a deal. And I loved how they started their call. Okay. This is very similar to like the conference networking thing. Is they said, we vet every deal on 3 things. Okay. Number 1 is character. Okay. Number 2 is experience. And number 3 is the deal. All right. So they're looking at character first. They're looking at values first, because if your values align, there's a much higher probability that everything else is going to align as well. All right. So end of the day, when you're going to the conferences, I would look over the agenda. I would look over the topics being presented on stage and pick the ones that you need the most. All right. Very beginning, you may need to sit in every single one of them. All right. A little bit more experience. There's some that you may need, others you can probably skip out on. But end of the day, the information is only half of it. The other part is going to be the people in the same room. So, make a game plan. Who do you need to meet while you're there? Whether it's a specific person or a type of person, know what you're trying to get before stepping into that conference room and before stepping into those networking events. All right. And try to spend as much time as possible with the people that meet your needs. Okay. Anyway, lots of conferences coming up. Let's see, today is May 2nd. This is going to be aired on May 3rd. Next conference I'll be at is Dealmaker Live in Dallas. Last week I was at the Multifamily Wealth Project. If that's not on your radar, make sure it is for next year. It was a great conference. We had a lot of members of the Tribe of Titans out there. And, first time ever, I made Tribe of Titans swag, so we've got, if you're watching on YouTube, I've got this really cool Tribe of Titans polo shirt on right now and a lot of other Tribe of Titans shirts. But if you're not a member of the Tribe of Titans yet, go to thetribeoftitans.com. And when you sign up, I'm going to send you a t-shirt. All right. Really cool t-shirt. It says, don't wait to invest in apartments. Invest in apartments that wait. And it has the Tribe of Titans logo on it. That's really super snazzy. All right. So anyway, that comes with new memberships, anybody who signs up for the tribe in the next couple of months. Okay. So hope to see a lot of you there. Once again, that's www.thetribeoftitans.com. And anyway, the other conference I went to last year, that was just, shameless plug, just randomly thrown in there. I was actually talking about something else. The other conference I went to last week was VSVCon for the Vertical Street Ventures crew. And once again, they're already selling tickets for next year. Get into that one. That was my favorite conference of 2022 was VSVCon. So far it's towards the top of my list. I haven't made my decision yet on what the best conference is of 23 yet. I'll probably wait towards the end of 23 to make that decision. But anyway, both very high quality conferences. So when you start looking at conferences for next year, put VSVCon towards the top of your list, put the Multifamily Wealth Project conference towards the top of your list, and hope to see you guys there. All right. That's it for today, except for my last part of the shameless plug. www.thetribeoftitans.com. Hop into our group, learn from us, partner with us, and we're going to do some great big things. And oh, by the way, you'll get a t-shirt too.
Hey, if you like that episode, make sure you hit that subscribe button. But more importantly, if you haven't joined our multifamily educational community, the Tribe of Titans, yet, you are missing out. So get yourself 30 days free by clicking the link below in the description, or go to thetribeoftitans.info, and we'll see you there.